Even though there's no animation this week, there's still quite a lot to talk about. A couple of weeks ago, Games Workshop published their half-yearly report. I don't really care about profits or anything like that, but there were a couple of interesting bits for Warhammer Plus and maybe pointing towards its future. So thanks for subscriber Chris pointing me in the right direction there. One thing that definitely stood out is that they're referring to it as a club for existing customers. So I didn't know it was part of a club, but it kind of reinforces my view that they've been pushing it more towards the vouchers and the competitions and all that kind of side, and steering a wee bit more away from the animations, because it's very obvious that they can't fulfill an animation a week and they have no intention of doing so. So that does make sense. It's not really what we signed up for though. The other information that was disclosed was that they'd had 2 million views on Warhammer Plus in its first 3 months. Now, 2 million is a massive number, but it's not that massive for Games Workshop. I'm not an expert on statistics. I don't know what this means. I don't know if this is good or bad. To put a bit of perspective on it, in the last month on Warhammer TV on YouTube, there was 2.5 million views across all the videos there. And they haven't actually released any hobby content in the last month on YouTube. It's all been adverts and little shorts and things like that. So I know Warhammer Plus is behind a paywall, so it's a completely different animal. I just wonder how Warhammer Plus would be performing if it had all been released on YouTube. One thing I was thinking about though, maybe it could never be on YouTube. There are quite strict community guidelines on content, and Hammer and Bolter especially is really, really violent. Angels of Death was as well, so maybe they wouldn't even get away with this kind of content on there. I reckon in the first 3 months I probably watched 50 views worth of stuff, so that would mean that there were 40,000 subscribers if everyone did that. Obviously that figure has just been pulled right out my bum. I have no basis in evidence on any of that, but if there's more average views per user, then obviously there's less subscribers. If there's fewer average views per user, then there's more subscribers. So you can work it out on that kind of scale, the kind of numbers that we're looking at. I don't think we'll ever find out how many subscribers there are. Now, the other thing is, this is not an indication of the health of Warhammer Plus right now, because so many people have said since that first 3 months that they're unsubscribing. It's all anecdotal evidence, but I can't imagine it's doing better now than it was at the start. There's not been enough to keep people interested. Maybe the competitions are enough for some people, they're not enough for me. I probably would have unsubbed if it hadn't been for my annual subscription. We won't know if it's getting better or worse until the next investor report. If you're new to these videos and you're interested in hearing more about Warhammer Plus, why don't you subscribe? Maybe throw me a like? There's no masterclass this week for some reason. I was really actually enjoying it, getting into a rhythm, and we're getting one each week. And then all of a sudden, chop, it's gone. It really works when it's weekly, that it's a good format. I would tune in every week to watch the masterclass. There is a phrase on social media that I'm hearing for Games Workshop, and that is a well-earned rest over Christmas. That's fine, but come out flying. We need more content, please. That's the last I'm going to say of it, okay? I've also noticed a lot of complaints on social media about the fact that there's no free tutorials on Warhammer TV anymore. I think that's because Nick Baton left to go to the Battle Reports team, and I don't know what Chris Peach was doing. But they've hired more presenters, and the free tutorials are all going to be back, which is good. That means they're not taking stuff away from free YouTube and sticking it behind a paywall. Warhammer Vault's the usual. We've got Farsight Enclaves, which is actually really good because it ties into the Tau release, which I believe is coming up on Saturday. So I like that they're giving us the old stuff so we can compare it to the new stuff and maybe get a wee bit of lore that might not even be in the new book. We also get 4 White Dwarves. So Warhammer Vault, as usual, well worth the read. This is a really good part of the service. As several people have mentioned though, it needs to be far more searchable. There's not really any good way of finding the content that you need across all these White Dwarfs. So actually the bigger it gets, the more unwieldy it gets. We need something to sort that out. And talking about tying in with the Tau launch, this week's Loremasters is all about Tau battlesuits. It was really, really interesting. I don't know a lot about the Tau. I like the look of them. I've always wanted to paint an army. I've actually had a little go at one, but I got onto other projects in the middle of that one, so I might go back to it at some point. I didn't realise there were so many types of battlesuits. There must be dozens of different ones. The advertising's really working on me here, because after seeing the bit about Farsight in this episode, I really wanted to go and build an army around the Farsight Enclave, and the 8, which are like 8 completely unique battle suits. It looked fantastic. Not really keen on the red paint scheme, but I'm sure we could sort that out. Thankfully, I came to my senses and I'm over that urge for now. Deep Strike was back this week, and that's usually an indicator that we're not getting an animation. It was for episodes 5 to 7 of Hammer and Bolter. So the guys were talking about the episodes, really like Adam Troke as the presenter. Wade Price was there, and a new guy, Simon. I believe he's joined the team full time, so that's good to have another presenter on board. As usual, and as you would expect, it was an overly positive take on all the episodes. The first one they reviewed was the Sisters one. I didn't like that one. Second one was In the Garden of Ghosts, which was the Eldar one, the really emotional one. Loved that one. And the third one was Kill Protocol, which was the tech priest going around with her big Castellan robot. That was a good one. I liked that one. It was really good to hear from people involved with the production, like voice actors. We'd really need more of that kind of stuff. You've got access to all these people. Make it happen. The battle report this week was from Warcry, and it was the new set. So it was the Dark Oath Savagers v the Tarantulos Brood, I think they're called. So the spider guys. It's not a game I know a lot about, so I was really excited to see a game in progress, and it has made me want to give it a wee shot. I'm not going to go out and buy the box set. I'll find someone else with it and I'll play a warband from there. To be honest, if you buy your own warband, it doesn't look like there's that much investment from a hobby point of view, so that's really good. Makes it really easy to get into. The best part of this battle report was the presenters. It was Nick Baton and Chris Peach, who have spent a long time with each other on Warhammer TV stuff, so the chemistry was amazing. It felt like two genuine players just having a great fun game, and they were really enjoying themselves. We really need more of that as well, please. Well, that's it. Another week without an animation. I do think this will be the strategy now. Like they said in the earnings report, we've signed up for a club and not a streaming service. So I think we just have to live with that or unsub. Because it seems like the competitions, vouchers and all that are taking precedence over animated content. I really hope they're scrabbling behind the scenes to get more animations out. That's the bit I really want to see. The other shows, I'm actually really enjoying them, but they could be on YouTube, like I say every week. Someone really needs to get the finger out. Once again, thanks for watching, happy hobbying, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.